Welcome to this full body golf stretch routine. We're not going to need any equipment for today's session, just somewhere comfortable to lay or sit down. We're going to go through some stretches through the lower half, through the hips, through the torso, through the shoulders, through the neck, helping with rotation, extension, flexion, all the movements that are going to be key for you to make a strong, efficient and fluid golf swing. So we're going to come down to our back, work our way through some movements, and I'm going to finish this session in a standing position so you can go and finish this and go and attack the rest of your day. So we come down to our back, onto your mat or wherever you have that is comfortable to lay or sit down. First thing we do is just let the spine settle. So I've got my feet tucked up, knees up in a nice comfortable position, really stress-free position for the spine, just letting the back decompress down into the floor. I do prefer a firmer mat or firmer position if you do have that, but whatever you've got access to will be fine for today. Placing the hands on the stomach, what we're going to do is take a few deep breaths in, try and expand the rib cage, exhale. And every breath here, we're trying to force ourselves into the ground, trying to open up for all this rib cage. So a lot of golfers that I speak to are a little bit tight across the lower back, across the abdomen area. A lot of this comes from the sitting down that we do throughout our day, driving, desk work. So sometimes just laying on the ground and just letting the spine decompress is a really good way of us just making ourselves feel a little bit better, especially before we do any movements or strenuous activity. So just laying in this position, what we can start to do is let these knees gently drop from left to right. So I'm just going to widen my feet slightly, and then I'm just going to let my knees fall gently to the left and to the right. I'm not overly worried about how far I go right now. I'm just going to listen to my body. Keeping an eye on my breathing, make sure we're just keeping this nice deep inhale and exhale throughout this whole routine. If you are a little bit tender across the lower back, up into the upper glutes, this might feel quite nice, might feel like you're just massaging into the area a little bit. And as you feel a little bit more confident, as you feel like you're getting a little bit more range, we can just start to expand this leg drop from left to right. And if you're feeling really optimistic and feeling like you can go for it, you can start to drop the knee down to the opposite heel. So here I'm just dropping my knees over to the right hand side, and I'm trying to reach my left knee towards the right heel. I'll do the same on the other side, trying to reach right knee to left heel. And as I do this, you'll feel the hips starting to loosen up. And if I am doing that reach, I might start to feel a little bit of a stretch on the front of the thigh. Really important here that we're starting to work a little bit on rotation. So as I drop my knees to the right hand side, I'm getting some external rotation through the right knee, some internal rotation through this left knee and through the hip. Really important that we keep this rotation all the way through the hip and through the knee. Really important for our backswing, downswing positions. One more each way for me. And onto the last side. Good work. So we're going to take a rest there, come back up to the top position. We're now going to cross this left foot over the top of the right knee. So I'm going to bring the left foot up and I'm going to place the outside of the left foot over the top of the right thigh. Now, as I do that, I'm just going to feel like I'm trying to push the left knee away from me. And then as I'm pushing that left knee away, squeezing the left hip, I'm then going to let the legs drop over to the right hand side. So I'm just going to create enough space I can start to let the whole system fall over to the right. Left foot might get to the ground, and then I'm still going to feel like I'm pushing that left knee away from me. What it's going to do is going to get a nice stretch on the outside of the left thigh, high up into this left hip. This is taking this hip into some good external rotation. Think of your lead leg in the backswing. So if you're a right-handed golfer, this will be your left side, which we're stretching now. This left side stretching as you turn into your backswing. Keep an eye on your breathing. And slowly ease back to the start position and swap onto the other side. So now we're going to do left leg down. Right foot crosses over the top of the left thigh. Right knee is pushed away from us. And then we're just going to drop this whole system over to the left hand side. So everything drops over to the left, right foot touches onto the ground on the left side. And again, I'm feeling like I'm pushing this right knee away from me as I stretch over to the left. Just going to get this stretch move down to the outside of the right thigh, high up into the right hip, taking our right hip into some good external rotation. Think of your downswing trail side. And that is going to be your right leg as a left-handed golfer. Oh, sorry, your right leg as a right-handed golfer. Good work. Drag that back to the start position. And we're just going to place the legs back down to the start and just a couple of rocks left to right with the legs as we started, just to ease off any tension that might have been built up through that movement. Now we're going to spin round and we come into a position on all fours. So you could just roll over, place your hands on the ground and come into a position on all fours. I'm going to do it this way. And we're just going to go through a little bit of routine of stretching out the middle part of the spine and lower part of the spine. So this area gets really tight for us as golfers. It gets taken through a lot of load. So it's really important that we just go through some decompression of the spine, and I'm going to take you through some cat-cow movements now to do that. So what we're going to do is, from this position on all fours in a neutral posture, we're going to tuck the chin into the chest. We're going to push the hands away from us to create a nice arc through the middle part of the back, and then we're going to tuck the pelvis under, squeeze the bum cheeks, and get into a nice big arched position with my back like this. I'm then going to do the opposite to that, which is dropping the belly button down, lifting the tailbone, lifting the chin and reaching up and away. And I should feel a nice stretch come to the front of my stomach here. We're then going to tuck back under, chin to chest, hands push away, bum squeezes in, big reach, and back the other way. We're going to do 6 of these in total, so that's 1 full already done. Here's number 2. Squeezing in, keeping an eye on your breathing. All the way up, big reach through the chin, tailbone reaches. Squeezing up through the belly button, chin to chest. All the way up, big reach, chin lifts, tailbone lifts. And tucking in, we're going to do 2 more of each. All the way up, big reach, slow controlled movements. Tucking in, belly button up. Last one here, big reach. And tucking up, good work. We're going to drop the bum down onto the heels. We're going to have a little bit of a stretch out here. We're just going to walk the hands forward, drop the chest down to the mat, and just have a little bit of stretch for the upper armpit. Just a small rest here. And then bring yourself back up into all fours. Now what we're going to do here is we're going to place one hand onto the top of the ear, and we're just going to drop one elbow down to the opposite wrist, and then we're going to open up. It's going to start to get the middle part of the torso rotating, and what it's going to help us do is have a combination of both rotation and extension. So if you think into your backswing, as we turn and we extend, and that's what we're going to try and do with our spine here. So opposite arm, elbow to opposite wrist, and then we're going to turn and extend as we go. Dropping down, open and extend. We're going to do 2 more here. Opposite elbow to opposite wrist, open and extend, and last one. Open and extend. Good work. We're going to swap sides. So right arm goes down, left hand onto the left ear, left elbow reaches down towards right wrist, open and extend. You can always watch out for if there's one side a little bit tighter than the other. Typically what I see in golfers is that the lead side is generally not quite as good as the trail side. We definitely spend a lot more time working into our trail side than we do our lead side. That is normal, but it's something we want to keep an eye on and something we want to try and fix if we can. 2 more here. And last one. Good work. Come to a position on all fours facing me, and then just come into your knees. And all we're going to do is just a bit of rotation through the torso whilst maintaining a stable neck position. So if you think as you rotate in the golf swing, it's really important that these chest and shoulders can turn underneath this neck. We really don't want the chest and shoulders to turn and neck to turn with it. So what we're going to do is we're going to get you to look down slightly through the eyes. We're not closing over through the posture. Good posture. Down with the eye movement, and then all we're going to do is just try and turn chest and leave our chin and eyes looking in that same position. We're then going to try and rotate underneath that the other way, and rotate the other way. What we're doing here by being sat on the knees is we're also stopping the hips from being able to move, and we're actually getting some disassociation through the torso and the hips as well. So if you think in your golf swing, be able to separate these 2 areas, that's what we can actually get some work done here by pinning these hips down. So rotate through the torso, hips stay stable, and through the other way. And that's why you'll feel a little bit more restricted than you would if you were doing this standing. A couple more each way. and in. Last one each way. And in. Good work. We're going to tuck the toes under, lift up onto our toes, drop our bum down into a nice deep squat. Just getting some nice deep hip flexion here before we come into a standing position for the hamstrings. And then push the feet into the ground, lift the bum up, and let the hands dangle down. So I'm not worried here too much if you can't get your legs straight. I don't mind if you can't touch the floor. No matter where you are, I just want you to keep moving around and really trying to let the spine decompress. So really trying to let this lower back round over. Keep the legs relatively straight if you can, but really trying to just let yourself sink. And we should, with a few breaths, be able to really melt into this and get some good extension through the spine, good stretch through the hamstrings, and just kind of release a lot of this tension. Keep your breathing. You can paddle the legs out if you want. Good work. I'm just going to roll all the way up now. So vertebrae by vertebrae, rolling yourself all the way up through into a standing position. You guys can stay standing. I'm just going to come down so you can see me a little bit better. Once you're in a standing position, we're going to roll the shoulders all the way back, round and down. We're going to do 2 more shoulder rolls, up, down and round. And we're just going to add our breath to this. So full deep breath in, shoulders up, round and down. And just like that, you've gone through a full body golf stretch. It can help you rotate, extend, flex and swing to your best ability. Great work today. See you in the next video.